so we're going to go through the bags. It is okay if you don't have absolutely everything yet, as I packed today. I also didn't have absolutely everything, so I've got a shopping list on my phone of things I need to pick up. The important thing to remember, though, is that you want to do this before the night before we leave. Because if you need to borrow stuff, we can do that, and we can get you whatever you need, short of like your personal clothes. We can borrow that for you for free so that you don't have to spend a lot of money. But if you don't do it till the last minute, we're going to be getting it as the trading post at Phillmont, which is going to cost you more money. And that'll be, that's coming out of your spending money, right? That's not crew money. So I encourage you to do whatever you need to do early so that we can get things borrowed for you and we're not out expenses there. So I'll show you a little bit what I've done, and then I'll give you a chance to unpack your bags and we'll look through and see what's there. So first thing, just kind of the pack size and weight. Y'all can't see it very well from there, but you want at least the size of a basketball left in your bag for crew gear. More if you can handle it, right? So about the size of a basketball. And I would recommend trying to get the bags with without watering your water bottles to about 20 to 25 pounds, okay, before you add water, okay? I've got the weight there if you want to kind of weigh where you're at now, all right? But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for about a basketball or more size left for crew gear and about 20 to 25 pounds without your water bottles filled, okay? All right, so in the top of my pack, which is called the brain, I have my mess kit, okay? I have a cup and a bowl and a sport and a little scraping thing. You can get by with just a mug and a spork if you want to. You'll just be eating and drinking out of you'll be drinking water out of your water bottle and then eating out of that, so you won't be, if you're mixing coffee or something, it'll be in your water bottle instead of in a cup, but that's perfectly fine. The scraper thing you probably really don't need. I've got these that collapse because that way it makes them easier to clean because you can fold them inside out, okay? These are in a separate Ziploc bag because they have to go up in the beer bag every night because they're smellables because they have food on them. So separate Ziploc bag there. And then I keep the rest of my brain just free that's where I put extra food or whatever I might need on the trail that day. On the sides, and I know everybody's bag's a bit different, so the stuff on the sides or whatever you have convenient, that's the stuff you've got to get to throughout the day, right? Or might need to get to throughout the day. So on one side, I have my just kind of utility kit there where I've got a little multi-tool, got my whistle. It's actually probably best to put your whistle on something outside of your bag, like a little hook or something. Time comes, I've got lighter, I've got matches, and a little bag there. Yeah. And then I've got a headlamp and extra batteries. So you do want a headlamp and not a flashlight because you may need to be doing things with your hands while you're, setting up your tent, or even if we're hiking, if we decide to get up and hike before it's really early in the morning. It will probably be early in the morning and not late at night. You don't want to be having to handle a flashlight while you're hiking. So you do want a headlamp. You do want extra batteries. Lithium batteries last longer and they're lighter, but they're also more expensive. So I carry lithium batteries and only two sets. But, I would probably, if I was carrying regular batteries, I might carry 3 sets.
Is that one in the headlamp and a bonus, or is that 2 bonus?
That's 2 bonus. I carry 2 bonus, just in case. That's probably too much. Probably 1 bonus is enough, but you just can't get batteries if you're out there. So I carry 2. So that's one side. And then the other side, I keep my, my like toiletry kit, which is one of the places where I need to buy some stuff for it, but you got kind of a list there. Again, toiletry kit, separate Ziploc bag, because it goes up in the bear bag. So when I've said in the packing list that these are separate Ziploc bags, like the reason I'm being picky about that is because you're going to need to put the stuff up in the bear bag. And if you have them in your own Ziploc bag, it makes life a lot easier for you. So that's why I'm trying to give you that information in advance. So that's at the sides. At the bottom, I have my towels, my pack towels. I carry two. I've got the big towel and then a little wash rag size in there. Doesn't have to be this big. You can do this the size down. We will have showers some night on the trail. Okay. So what you're looking for with that is, you know, you might need to dry off if it rains or something like that. But you'll have the opportunity to shower. So you're thinking towel and washcloth, quick dry. For that, so you can go smaller than this. This is probably about full-size bath towel size, but you don't want to go completely down to hand towel, probably, because you're going to want to dry off afterwards, right? So anyway, one or two of those. I would expect that we'll have showers every other night, maybe every third night when we're on the trail. So that's kind of what you're planning for there. I'll do that in a second. I've got a pack cover. This just unfolds, goes around the bag, cinches closed around it for if it's raining. Okay. Mine's the brand that matches the bag because I bought them together or whatever. But they make some generic brands. Some bags may have them built in, but you know, if you really want the one that matches the bag, you'll probably pay $50, $60 for it. If you get a generic one from Walmart, you'll probably pay $10 or $15 for it. They'll work about as well. They just won't have the name brand on them. So, but you do probably want something heavier. You know, a trash bag will work for this, but it won't hold up for 12 days, right? So you do probably want something designed to hold up. Got camp shoes. I just carry old like running shoes that are like sneakers, canvas shoes like Chucks or something are really good for that. They do need to be closed-toed and have a heel, right? So Chacos or something like that won't work. There'll be some people at Phillmont will wear them and maybe get by with it. It's sort of borderline, but the rules are you're not supposed to have them, so I'd recommend not bringing them in case, you know, we're with the ranger that's a stickler. But we may be with the ranger who's wearing Chacos and says, "Oh, you guys should have brought Chacos." But anyway, I'd do old tennis shoes or something along those lines. Crocs you could probably get by with Crocs, though you should have them with the heel down. I have a trowel, right, for digging a cat hole. This is the size I carry, right? Very small, little light backpacking trowel. We will have one as a crew, so everybody doesn't have to have one. I definitely wouldn't recommend carrying a big, heavy one. Carry something light if you're going to carry it. And then this is like my repair and various things. So I have this bag, which is, I put a random list of repair stuff on there that should be household stuff. So it's stuff like rubber bands, safety pins, clothespins. When I said a strap, I meant something like this, just a little kind of utility strap, right? We'll be away from stores, so if a shoulder strap breaks, if there's a hole in the bag, if there's something like that, we've got to fix it. So this is just a bunch of regular household stuff that's good at fixing bags, okay? I've got a sewing kit, and what I did is just get a roll of kind of heavier thread, put a couple of needles in there, right? It's not like a fancy sewing kit. I also carry a Sharpie with part of a roll of duct tape wrapped around it so you don't have to carry a separate roll, right? All of this, the clothespins are for hanging up. We'll be able, anytime we can shower, we can also wash clothes. The air is really dry there, so particularly hiking clothes, light hiking clothes will dry. So we'll set up a laundry line, have those. Life is easier if you can put them, if you have clothespins to put them up there, right? So all of that stuff was just, there's not a particular strap or a particular type of pin or whatever. It's just kind of assorted stuff that's easy to come by, that shouldn't be expensive, that can serve as a backup. One thing you definitely want in there is at least one set of laces that's appropriate for whatever boot you're wearing. Okay? In case your boot lace snaps, you'll be able to replace it. Most are pretty interchangeable, but if you've got like some Solomons that have the kind of cinch boot lace or something like that, you'll want to make sure you have something that will work for that, because that could be a real problem. Then I have a bag of a bunch of different size bags, trash bags, Ziploc bags. In case one of these break, the trash bags can be used to keep different things dry if it's raining, those sorts of things. You will be surprised how often you wish you had an empty bag. So even though it seems like I've got plenty of bags, bags are a good thing to have. I've also got a pocket knife in there. Okay, and then I'll show you the main compartment. So these are my clothes. That's how big my clothes are. Now keep in mind, I'll be wearing a pair. I'm not packing one pair. I'll have those with me and we'll wear them out the first day. But I can show you the kind of thing I'm bringing. I'm actually bringing slightly more than's on the list, really. These cinch bags are your friend. You can just stuff things in here, cinch them down. You don't have to worry about things being wrinkled or whatever. All right. So I've got a pair of hiking pants that zip off into shorts, and I'll wear another pair of hiking pants. I don't bring any shorts. I prefer long pants when I'm hiking, but instead of a second pair of pants, you can bring a couple pairs of shorts. That's fine. I've got this kind of lightweight hoodie that's mostly there for the sun and not for the cold. I have a couple of quick drying t-shirts and then one long sleeve quick drying t-shirt. Okay. So I've got that, and then I also carry a separate bag that is cold, and it's here. It's cold and rain stuff. So this is like a normal day. This is like my backup stuff. I show you this separately because if you pack your your fleece or something that's kind of softer and bigger in a bag like this, you can use this as a pillow. You don't have to have a separate pillow. I still have a separate pillow because I used to just do this, and then I got a separate pillow and was like, well, it's better. But anyway, but it's washed away. But you want a rain jacket? Okay. I don't carry rain pants. What I'll do is get some Scotch Guard, water protected stuff, and spray down my hiking pants and just not carry extra rain pants. That's just a personal preference thing. A fleece. You want something. This is wool. Wool's better than cotton. Cotton doesn't dry. Cotton doesn't dry quickly and doesn't keep you warm when it's wet. Wind just blows through cotton. So wool's better than cotton or some sort of synthetic. Have a base layer, pants, and then I have hat and gloves. Okay.
I feel better knowing that you have a second bag of clothes. I was like, I don't understand how you got all your clothes in one bag.
Yeah.
One bag is twice that size.
Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's still, it's still not all that many clothes. Now, I will have, I did not pack underwear, but I will have underwear in there, but I do pack my socks separately. And I won't, I won't go into a lot of detail about which underwear you want to wear, but just remember, you want something, you'll be hiking a lot in it, right? So you want something that's comfortable over long distances, probably something that's quick drying, probably something that's kind of, designed for athletics or something like that. And you don't want cotton, if you can help it. I pack my socks separately in a Ziploc bag and put them out of the main pocket of the bag and easy to get to, so that I can change socks throughout the day. So that, because if they get wet, they get blistered. Yeah.
Do you have them laying flat, or do you have them like in a roll? Socks?
The socks, I just have them flat. Yeah, I have them flat. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. It's whatever. However, but I put them in this flat outside pocket, so it fits better if they're just flat.
How many pairs?
I do four. I do 4 pairs. So basically, for outer clothes, I do 2 pairs, basically, with some extra long sleeve stuff. And then, the idea is the nights we have a shower, you get into camp, you shower, you wash your clothes, you put on your clean clothes, leave your clothes from that day out to dry, and then you swap them again the next night, right? So you're basically swapping 1 pair of clothes and then having some backup stuff for rain or for water. But I carry 4 pairs of socks and 4 pairs of underwear just because in case there are extra days between showers and it's more, more comfortable. And just a little pro tip on both the socks and the underwear, I get different colors for everything. Like I don't just have a bunch of white socks, because then I can never remember what part of the rotation I'm on. So I will have 4 different color pairs, and then I can keep up with it. That's not crucial. You can make it go with white socks. All right, so that's it for clothes. Sleeping bag. You want a sleeping bag that will handle 40 degrees. And they're rated to say on the tag. This one actually handles like 22 degrees, so this is a little overkill, probably. In here, I'm not going to pull this out unless for some reason you want to see it. But in here, I do have an inflatable pillow, and I have a liner, like a silk liner that goes in there that I can use kind of as a sheet. I forgot to bring it tonight, I'm just realizing, but I also have an inflatable ground pad that I carry with me. Inflatable pads they're very proud of them. They're pretty pricey, but there are a couple of options that work well. There's a Thermarest makes something called a Trail Scout, which is, you can get, at least you used to be able to get at Academy, and it would run about $40 or something like that, but it's half inflatable, so it increases when it's, you can inflate it up to about here, but it's not totally inflatable. There is padding before you inflate it, which is good, because that means if you get a leak, you're not just out of luck, right? If you have a fully inflatable one and you get a hole, it's just, you don't have a pad anymore. The Trail Scouts will go to about that wide, about that tall, so you can get them in a bag. The other option, if you don't want to do that, is just those blue foam pads that roll up that are like the most basic that Walmart or Academy sells. Those are the perfect thing to tie to the bottom of your bag, because you can do anything to those guys and they'll be fine. Those can also be nice because those foam ones you can use as a chair or something, something to sit on or whatever. That can be handy. Some people, if they carry those, will either buy short ones or will cut them off at the waist, because basically that way when you're sleeping they'll support your back, which is what's comfortable, and your leg, you won't have anything under your legs, but it'll be lighter. and it's not a big deal if you don't have anything under your legs unless it's really cold. So some people will do that. Another way to pack those, if you don't want to tie it on the outside, is to stick it in the main pack part of your bag and to sort of line the bag with it and give the bag structure with it and put things down there. And then close to last thing I have, you want the equivalent of a gallon of water carrying capacity. So that is 4 quart bottles. In the most basic Nalgene, this size is a quart. So it'd be 4 of these. But instead of carrying 4 of these, I carry 2 of the tall ones. Or 1.5, and then the short one. And then what I do, the reason I like doing that is because I can put these on either side of the bag to keep the weight balanced. And then I leave this one out with me clipped so I can get to it. And then when this one's empty, I stop and fill it from one of these, right? You will want one Nalgene that is designated to be the one you mix Gatorade or whatever in, because that one becomes a smellable. And so it needs to, we'll actually leave those down by the fire pit at night. It's what you do with water bottles that are smellables. But make sure you designate one. You don't want to end up with all of your water bottles as smellables, because that will be a pain, because then you have to put everything up in the bear bag or at the fire pit or whatever. You have no access to water, those sorts of things. I think I put on there, I use my carabiner that we can also use for other things in camp. During the day I use it for holding my water bottle. So lots of different ways to do that, but anyway, and then I've got got a sticker on mine so I can tell it's mine, so mark them in some way, put something on it so you can tell it's yours. And then last thing I have map and compass. Don't buy your maps yet. The good ones aren't out yet. This is an old one. So I'll replace it with the good one. So we'll buy those when we get to Phillmont. I will buy the minimum we're required is included in our fees. So we'll have 3 or 4 circulating around. People will take turns navigating. Okay? So you don't need to buy one. There are good souvenirs, and some people just like having a map with them. Like I'm also going to buy out of pocket a map personally for me, because I don't like not having a map and figure out where we're going as we go along, right? But that's not necessary. If you're doing it just for a souvenir, this is a map that's the whole ranch, but then they also have maps that are segments that are zoomed in, which is what we'll use to navigate. I think the whole ranch one makes a better souvenir. So you may just want, if you're buying a souvenir one, you may want to wait and buy it when we're done and take it home just as a souvenir and not try to navigate. Because when it's the whole ranch, it's not as detailed, right? And when it zooms in, it's more detailed. Okay. I think that's it. Any packing questions?
Packs for your clothes at a Walmart?
Yeah. And then what you're looking for, they're compression sacks, right? Those are just stuff sacks. These are compression sacks. They also have some that are waterproof compression sacks. That's not necessary and is more expensive. So I would not recommend the waterproof ones. Just look for compression sacks. These Sea to Summit ones come with 3 sizes. This size, and then like one that's roughly that clothes size, and then a small one. So the 3 packs, that's probably enough to get you there. Let's see, there was a couple of things, I think I'm still, a couple of optional things I put on there. And I know one thing I don't have here, which is something I will wear, is a wristwatch, okay? Like day-to-day life, I don't wear, I wear like an Apple Watch, right? I can't charge that there, right? So I'm going to go to Walmart and buy the cheapest digital wristwatch they have from the Walmart section, because that way it doesn't matter if it gets like one of those, it's just like Velcro to your wrist, and they're just digital. But make sure you have one that also has an alarm, and learn how to set the alarm, right? Remember, we won't have phones, we won't have alarm clocks, and we will still have to keep a schedule. Somebody's got to get up in the morning, wake everybody up, right? You can bring, I wouldn't, you know, and don't weigh your pack down a lot with it, but you can bring some luxury items, like I'm going to bring coffee. I'm going to bring it, packs of instant coffee for me. You can bring spices, you can bring hot sauce, you know, transfer, if you do that, transfer it out of a glass bottle into a little plastic bottle or something. Like you can bring that stuff to spice up the food. Just if you do anything like that, make sure you pull it out and put it in the bear bag at night. And you know, you've got the Ziploc bags, got the Sharpie so you can put your name on it to do that. Last thing I wanted to mention before we cut the video off is phones. Got a little note about this at the bottom of the packing things. I know that phones have multi-purposes these days. Cameras, GPS devices, all kinds of things. So I get the desire to keep a phone with you and keep it going. If you choose, I will warn you that we probably won't have service for a lot of the places we're going. If we're on top of a mountain or a ridge, we might have service. If we're down, we probably won't. Honestly, when I've been before, I didn't carry my cell phone, so I don't really know how scarce the service is. I will try to carry mine this time, so we have one for emergencies. But the rules are this. First of all, you carry it at your own risk, right? My advice to you is leave it in the car. It can't get hurt in the car, all right? We'll have what we need for emergencies. So, you know, if you bring it on the trail and it gets messed up, you know, that's on you. It's your decision. So talk it through with your parents or whatever beforehand. We will not have any crew gear to charge your phone. And these campsites will not have the ability to charge phone. So you got to get through 12 days of charging, right? So you will need to carry your own charger for that, right? If you want to charge your phone, you're responsible for the weight of your charger, and that doesn't mean that you carry less crew gear, right? You still carry your share of crew gear plus the charger, right? And then the last one is, you know, you can use your phone as a tool. You can text home to tell your parents you're safe. You can take pictures. You can GPS. But if your phone's distracted, you know, if you're playing games in the tent, if you're off somewhere, you know, talking to folks all the time or whatever, it otherwise becomes a distraction. Then you'll have to shut it off and not use it the rest of the time, right? So just use common sense if you bring it. Again, my advice is it's better just to leave it in the car. You'll be glad you don't have to wait. It's actually, after a couple days, kind of fun not having it, I think. But anyway, but that's not a demand that you know. If you want to bring it, you can. Just you're responsible for it. So, all right, you want to cut us off there?